Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another point 0.5 episode of the Campfire Council podcast. As always, we are excited to be here, and today Milo is going to take it away and let us know what we're going to be talking about.
All right, so I wanted to talk about just Star Wars and sci-fi in general. We'll just kind of see where the conversation goes. But I want to start off by talking about the evidence that Jar Jar Binks is in fact a Sith Lord.
Ooh.
All right.
It's true, dude.
I think it is probably true.
I think it's a little bit true. Maybe he's not like the main Sith Lord or whatever, but I think he was feeding Palpatine like information.
Right.
You know.
I think he was part of Palpatine's plan for sure.
Yeah. I think so.
There is some evidence in Clone Wars, right? Here we go. The animated TV show. An episode where they actually think that Jar Jar Binks is a Jedi, which I know is different than the Sith Lord, but he appears to be with like the Jedi cloak and everything.
As he would.
Yeah, and he's like, obviously he's being, Jar Jar, and he escapes and everything, but that's kind of like foreshadowing, maybe, that he could be a Force user.
I think
Who
so.
knows?
I don't know. His voice sounds more Gollum than anything.
No.
But
He's extremely agile,
yeah.
like surprisingly so.
Can't he like breathe underwater?
I believe
Unless it's
so.
just him using the Force.
He's central to a lot of the events that take place and part of Palpatine's plan.
It's true, and he's close, like as an advisor in politics and everything. He
Yep.
works his way up a little bit.
Right.
And when Padme goes back to Tatooine, doesn't he like take over for a little bit? Like he
does.
takes
Yep.
over her position.
Which
Yeah.
essentially she took over from Palpatine.
No, I
Because
think they're different. when he
'cause
when he
Palpatine
was voted
became
as the chancellor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
So do you
Yeah,
actually
he
think
advocates for Palpatine specifically to be chancellor, right?
right.
He's like the guy.
Isn't he? I don't
think
remember
so.
specifically, but
I think there's that scene.
No, you're right. When he's
Yeah.
he's like in the whole assembly or
Yeah.
whatever. I think this is like when the ET people are there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, and he
Which I
says
didn't know
whatever,
about.
and then they all start clapping, and he's like,
Yeah.
he has
trying
like a
to play
face.
dumb?
Yeah, he has like a face of like I got them or something. He's just happy.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
can we talk Order 66?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. All right.
Dude.
Where do I begin? What an incredible plan. That is it's just in the movie, in the TV shows.
Was it Bink's plan?
Probably.
It could have been whoever, but I mean,
You're a big
Just-
fan of that plan?
just the mastermind. It's so good because
Formula.
Massacre of children.
just how far back it goes and just Palpatine understanding, like he's in control of the Republic and I always forget.
Democracy. Wait, what?
I can't remember the name of who's in charge of the droids.
Oh, the Separatists.
The Separatists. Thank you.
Yeah.
And he's just moving pieces left and right, just the entire time controlling it.
Viceroy Gunray.
It's
That's his name, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm not an expert on Star Wars stuff. I
He's
gotta
he's
defer to
like
you
one of the
guys.
leaders of the Separatists. Yeah.
Luke's
Yeah.
kind of the expert.
Yeah.
But it's
No, there are two of them. That's the guy, right?
Wait, you were the guy, right?
I actually was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I put minimal amounts of like makeup and stuff like that.
Okay.
That was pretty much just me.
He was also 3 years old.
Yeah, that's true.
Or younger.
I think it came out 2003, right? So
I-
I was probably 2.
What about the first? What wasn't
That's Phantom Menace. Yeah.
Phantom Menace was 2003?
Pull it up, true though.
Or was it 1?
I don't know.
Maybe not.
it was
I
early 2000s.
don't even know.
Okay.
I just saw a post about Hayden Christensen when he said he was acting out the scene when he killed the younglings, that he actually was doing his best to scare that kid, and he did. Like
Ooh.
just be as scary as possible, and that was
Yeah.
just like an actual reaction from the kid, which is awesome. Like
Oh,
he's
like
just,
when he walks in and
he
like,
just walks
Jedi
in, he's
Master?
just
Master Skywalker.
Darth
Yeah.
Vader just ignites his lightsaber and just
Yeah.
annihilates them.
Yeah, but dude, I really like this plan, dude. Like
Dude,
it's
it's
a
so
good plan.
dark. No, dude, it is because
No, I see what you're saying. It's
literally-
just genius.
Palpatine, he just sets up this plan with a Jedi Master, Sifo Dyas,
There you go.
who is a Jedi who had different ideas, who wasn't on the council, and he wanted to like help create this clone army because Count Dooku was behind it as well, and he was also a little bit different from like the normal council. So he sets up this whole thing with the Camioans and Camino about like, hey, we're gonna set up this clone army for you to fight the Separatists. And then he ended up being killed by Count Dooku. His plane crashes. The Jedi can never figure out what happened to him. And then Obi-Wan Kenobi, he investigates Jango Fett, who kills another bounty hunter that was trying to kill Padme. And he tracks him back to Camino. And the Camion's just like, hey, your clone army's right. And he's like, what? Like, what clone army? And there's just millions of clones that literally fight for the Jedi. And then they build this huge relationship with the Jedi. They fight for years with the clones. And then, boom, the inhibitor chips. Order 66.
That's what's so good about Clone
Bing,
Wars
bang,
and
boom, they're
Bad
dead.
Batch.
Yeah.
Of like seeing how like with Bad Batch, those clones they were like defected clones and they didn't have like the chip in them, or maybe they did and it didn't work.
No, when you find out that the guy they think his chip is activated, but they find out that he just removed it. That was a pretty cool plot twist.
Yeah.
Crosshair.
Yeah,
Yep.
he's a cool character. I didn't watch season 2, or did they release a third?
Season 3 is currently
in the
releasing
makings.
episodes right now.
It's in the making. Okay.
It's good.
Yeah. Oh, it was good. I just haven't gone back around to it.
I just wait for it to come out and then I just binge watch it.
Yeah, that's
I
kind of.
can't wait.
Yeah.
I think that's why Revenge of the Sith is so good, because like the emotions that you feel when Order 66 goes down.
The music
That
too.
scene, it's so sad.
I love that. I like that feeling. Just like the scene of the Rohirrim line,
Man.
all lined up with the
Yeah.
music, and they're
I'll start crying right
going
now.
to like, oh, dude, the chill in theater, man. Oh, that was
That's
it's the
awesome.
best scene in Lord of the Rings. It's
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, it's powerful.
It is.
The way the music can just do that. It's awesome.
Right? Make or break a movie.
Yeah.
Side note: favorite scenes in Lord of the Rings.
Oof. Honestly, it's like I feel like it's a little underrated. Maybe not underrated, but like after watching it again, of when everything's all kind of have happened, and Merry, Pippin, and Sam and Frodo are all at the Green Dragon.
Yeah.
And they all, they get their drinks, their
At the end.
ales. Yep. And
Yep.
they're all just looking at each other, and it's just like silent, and
They're
they're
not
just
the
like,
same.
yeah, they're just not the same who they were, and
Yeah.
they're just staring at each other. They're like, wow, like all of that happened, and like none of these people around know what had happened, like their journeys and like
Yeah.
what they had to do and what they saw, what they've been through, and they just had that moment of like peace again. They're like, wow,
Yeah.
I made it back to the Shire.
I don't think there's any wrong answers, because
That's true.
like
They're all
every
so-
scene, every scene is just so perfect.
I like the guy eating the food
which guy?
when he's
Denethor?
singing. Yeah, and he's
That's actually a
That's the
really
wrong
good
answer.
scene.
Oh, really?
No,
I was
that's
about
a
to say
great
that's
scene.
It is.
Because Pippin
Yeah.
is singing.
And it
That-
sounds
yeah, I know.
amazing.
It's in
It's
that
so
scene.
good.
Yeah.
So good.
What
But-
about
Yeah,
But-
go ahead. You first.
that was a joke though. I hate that scene. But
what
go ahead.
about?
Oh, it's good.
I think it's one of the most iconic scenes of starting off with Gandalf, followed by I think Frodo. It's a fellowship walking and starting to go into like the mountain pass kind of area, like when they
Oh,
just start off
yeah.
their journey with the fellowship is developed, and it's like the slow mo almost with the music
Yeah.
playing.
like of
and
their
you-
silhouettes?
No,
Everyone's
it's just like
a
there's-
side view of everyone walking.
It's like
It's
they're almost on
that.
a
Okay.
almost like a mountaintop, and they're
Yeah.
walking between like two rocks.
Oh, okay,
and
okay.
It like
Gandalf
introduces
starts
them like one at a time.
Yeah.
like they just leave
Ah.
Rivendell and they're starting their journey, and it's like showing all the characters of the Fellowship, and it's like this is Lord of the Rings. It's just like let's go.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
But what
So
about
fire.
what were you gonna say for your scene?
Oh, like favorite fight scene is Gandalf versus the Balrog for me. Like that's the
Oh,
most
dude.
powerful
Oh,
fight
yeah.
scene.
Yeah,
Just the
I'll go
whole
with
thing,
that
like
one.
not just Fellowship of the Ring, but going into Two
Two
Towers.
Mhm.
That's my favorite fight scene. I think the scene where Gandalf is telling Pippin that death is not the end, and
In the third movie,
he's like describing like what heaven will be like or what comes after. That's a great scene, dude.
Yeah.
And then I think the most powerful scene in all the movies for me is when they're saying bye to Frodo.
oh yeah.
Have you ever seen that deleted scene? of like when he's about to get on the ship or whatever. It's not a deleted scene, but it's like an extended scene.
Yes.
And he like
We
all of a
were
sudden
all
he's
gonna
like
say it.
holding the ring or something. Oh,
I don't know if I've seen that.
it's like a
Oh, it's
weird like
hilarious.
alternative
It's
ending
like
or something.
an
He's like,
edited from I think fans.
Oh, okay.
He like
Anyways.
magically has the ring again.
Yeah,
He's
you're like,
holding it in the boat.
I'm so glad
Yeah,
they
the
didn't
Grey
follow through
Yeah,
with that.
I don't think they should end it like that.
That would have made no sense. You've been like,
Interesting. I saw a video. They were talking about that scene was just like a super long day for the four hobbits having to like be emotionally just like a wreck that entire time, and just going through like crying like that the entire time. And then they found out after they shot it, like, oh, that was amazing, like super good.
Yep.
That Sam didn't have one of his vests or something for his outfit on, and they had to reshoot it again.
Oh, wow.
And they just talked about like how
The emotional.
just
like the
like how they
continuity
had to go
issue,
back
yeah.
into that was just
Yeah.
so difficult of like that mindset. And
Right.
after getting like that perfect shot of just like, oh, it was great, we were like in the moment and everything, and it's like,
that would suck.
Nope.
They still killed it.
oh yeah.
You know what's I just thought of this a really good thing in Rings of Power. It's towards the end of the season when they finally show Sauron, and he's just like this tower above all of the orcs, and he's standing on like this cliff. Luke has that
I have it tattooed on my leg.
on his leg, where he's like holding this spear, and it's just like a really cool image of like how big Sauron was compared to the orcs, and like how like powerful he was.
Yeah.
I
Wait,
just think
this
it's
is
a
the
really-
end?
Yeah, it's like towards the
In his
end of the
armor?
season. Yeah, because he can take on different forms. So
I thought-
like at that time he was like his true Sauron form.
Oh.
Because I think it was like
I thought he was like the.
it shows Sauron as a man, but I think it also then shows him in the future. Then is that what it's doing?
It,
Right?
it could be
I
like a
guess I don't
flashback or like or not a flashback, but like a
Flash forward.
like a
A forward flash.
Well, there you go.
forward flash.
Here's I remember that. What do you think of Rings of Power, Milo?
I just watched the first few episodes and I just wasn't feeling it.
Yeah.
So
That's fair.
I moved on to other things.
You don't think you're gonna go back and watch it?
Probably not. No. Man. Yeah. Sorry.
That's all right.
I mean, maybe.
I'm gonna change the subject before I get mad.
Yeah.
What do we think?
I still like you right now, Milo. Come on, don't ruin it.
What are our thoughts about the Acolyte? Have you guys seen the trailer?
Ooh.
I don't know.
What's that? I don't know what that is.
It's the new Star Wars movie that's
The
coming.
trailer was pretty weak.
Show.
It was
TV
weak.
show.
Oh, show.
You thought so too?
They should stop making shows and start making movies, in my opinion. I'm sorry, but also I don't know. Like I just don't know what it's about. So
Let me learn you.
okay.
So, the Acolyte, which is just, I believe, it stands for like a Sith apprentice or like Sith, like something dark. This takes place, I believe it's towards, I want to say it's towards the end of the High Republic. So the High Republic era was a very golden age of Jedi were pretty much doing what Jedi were supposed to do. They were protecting the people. They were keeping the law and order. They were doing their Jedi things. And they believed that the Sith were all destroyed. But at that time, the Sith were actually just staying in hiding. They were regaining strength and waiting.
Was this after like they just established the rule of two between them? So
It
why there's
actually,
so
the rule
few?
of two goes way back, like before Palpatine's master, Darth Plagueis.
Yeah.
And before that, where they established the rule of two, and they stay hidden because they understand that in order to rule the galaxy, they have to be patient, gain power, and it literally follows through all the way till Darth Vader. When they complete with Palpatine, they complete that whole plan of theirs. But the Acolyte takes place, I think, towards the end of the era of the High Republic, and it takes place like I think 100 years before Phantom Menace, and it's a time still at the end of the Golden Era, but there's like controversy, and there's also a dark presence that they discover that's rising, which I believe is going to be the Sith revealing themselves or being discovered. And I think it's going to have a little bit of a dark side to it, which I really hope it does. I think it'd be cool to learn more about that. I'm excited about it. I'm excited about everything Star Wars. So
I was gonna say, for the people that don't know what we're talking about, probably are really confused.
well,
That's right.
that's okay.
I
Is it
think.
a similar time frame as the Old Republic games?
So
No, he's saying it's pretty.
I
far
want to
from
say
it.
it's a little bit before.
They need to make like a good show or movie about that. I don't want Sorry, Disney. I don't want this new age Disney crap. Like, get somebody new in here and like make a
Dave
good.
Filoni,
Dave Filoni is, I know he came back, but like, or maybe he never left. I don't really know. But like, I don't know. I also just kind of want somebody new. Yeah. Like I want not like a Scorsese, but like a different kind of director. That's not just like almost like a different style of Star Wars.
You guys haven't seen Dune Part 2 yet.
No.
Not
Dude,
yet.
I wish. Should we go watch that after this?
I'm just imagining if Denis Villeneuve were to the director, Denis Villeneuve.
Ooh.
If he were to make a Star Wars movie, it would be insane.
I really like the first Dune.
Yeah.
I feel like I have to watch it again. I've watched it twice now, but I feel like I don't know what's going on with the characters.
I can kind of explain it to you if you want.
Well, please do, because I'm a little lost.
What are you confused about?
Because there's this like, they kind of just jump right into it, right?
Yeah.
Like there's like these people on this planet, and then there's these people from the other planet that just come down to their planet, and they're like, hey, we're gonna like mine your planet, right?
Yeah.
So are they like?
Okay, I can jump in here.
Okay,
so
just jump right in.
Arrakis is the desert planet.
Okay.
It's inhabited by the Fremen. They're the guys in the still suits living in
with
the
the
desert.
things up their nose.
Yep.
Okay.
Which
Zendaya.
the reason why they have those is to absorb the moisture from their breath. So the moisture from their breath gets absorbed in the suit and then recycled. It grabs all their pee and sweat and everything too, and like filters it.
That's gross.
And then they can like drink it.
It's like
as
Iron
water.
Man's suit.
So yeah, it rehydrates them. So it's because it's very dry.
Or you crack open a monster.
They should.
That
That
would
place
be
will get
worth
you
like $1 billion
tripping.
on Arrakis.
Yeah. And the
Sign
sand
me up.
there, like.
So
makes
what's
them
on
trip
Arrakis
hard.
that they want?
Okay, so the spice melange,
Spice?
the spice.
It's actually based off of a Filipino.
Oh, is
recipe.
it?
So remember that's like when
That
they're
adds up.
mining it, that scene where like Timothy Chalamet is kind of tripping and he's like seeing the future.
Right. Yeah.
The spice has different effects on different people, but the reason why they need spice is because remember those huge like oval ships
Yes.
that transported them to Arrakis?
Mm-hmm.
That's part of the Spacing Guild. They control all of the like interstellar ships. And in order to navigate interstellar space, they basically need to like take huge doses of the spice, and they can like see the right path through like hyperspace or whatever. And so we didn't get to see them, but the Spacing Guild navigators are these grotesque, like massively mutated dudes that are just like on huge doses of the spice, and they're the ones that are able to, they have the brain power to like navigate and kind of like see the future and navigate a path. So that's why it's so important, and you can only get the spice on Arrakis. So that's why it's the most valuable planet in the galaxy. So the planet of Arrakis is technically controlled by the Emperor, okay, which you will see in Dune Part 2. Spoiler alert. He's going to be in it. Played by Christopher Walken.
Oh, cool.
I don't know who that is.
He's from
Dune
I
Part
wish I
2.
could do his accent.
Dude, he was in that one.
Dude,
that's
that's
right.
no way.
Who was he in that?
The
Senator?
Yeah.
Palpatine?
He's Palpatine.
He's just straight up.
I wish I could do his accent. Or
Doesn't
his,
everyone
his-
do his accent?
Yeah,
Isn't that like a thing? Like
I need more
everyone-
cowbell. I don't know. That's that guy.
Yeah. Anyway, Christopher Walken. So where was I? Okay, so it's controlled by the Emperor.
Sand.
The Emperor basically, like, to make sure. So he needs like a house, I guess. If anybody's watching this that really knows about Dune, they're probably gonna be like, he's totally explaining it wrong. But
Come on, dude.
The Emperor like basically gives control of Arrakis to a certain house, but he won't like allow one house to have control of Arrakis for like too long, otherwise they'll become too powerful and rich. So I think he like trades off control or something. But basically, when you're given control of Arrakis, you have to take it because it's such a powerful opportunity for your house. So House Atreides is Paul Atreides' house, Timothy Chalamet, right? Mm-hmm. The Emperor is basically setting up Leto Atreides, who is Paul Atreides' father. He's setting up their house to take control of Arrakis, and they'll be trapped there. And he's going to use the Harkonnens and secretly his own troops, which are the guys that were like doing the human sacrifice, and they're doing the Mongolian throat singing. Remember that scene?
Yeah, I do.
Oh,
They're the Sardaukar. They're like the super soldiers that
sardines.
work for,
A bunch of sardines.
They
In a car.
they're like the emperor's personal military, and they're very, very powerful warriors. And so it's in secret though, because the emperor doesn't want the other houses to know that he's setting up the Atreides to be destroyed. And the reason why he's setting up the Atreides to be destroyed, well, I guess some of that is revealed in the next movie, but it's basically because they're becoming too powerful. So he's giving them Arrakis as a trap and using the Harkonnens and his own troops to destroy
What a funny word.
That
Harkonnens.
guy is the guy in the black tar.
It's actually that guy. It's the
Thing.
fish guy.
Yep.
He's in
The fish
Dune.
guy.
Yep.
That's the only line.
Baron Harkonnen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we? Do you have more to say? I didn't want to.
Does that kind of give you an idea?
It definitely
of the plot?
paints the picture better because I did not remember like any of that.
I'll just say real quick, you know that like Paul Atreides' mother, she's got like the voice. She's got like, she can like command people to do things against their will.
She's like one of those witch things. Night Sisters.
When she's like on when they're on the ornithopter and she's like, kill him, and then he like
Oh,
kills
yes.
him.
yeah.
Okay.
That's
yep.
that was the precursor to the Force. So that if I'm not mistaken, a lot.
Crossover?
I think George Lucas has said this, but a lot of what is in Dune inspired Star Wars. So that's
Interesting.
like a
pretty cool.
precursor, or
Interesting.
yeah, the inspiration for the Force.
It's
Like
the
when
mother
they
of Star
use,
Wars.
like,
I didn't know
yeah,
Force
Dune.
influence.
Dune was made before Star Wars.
Yes.
I did not
Yeah.
know
Oh
that.
yeah, the
Yep.
books are old.
Wow.
So
mean, I knew
okay,
the
so
movies.
basically, Paul Atreides is the product of a very long history of the Bene Gesserit, which is what they're like the equivalent of the Jedi.
Sounds like
But they're
something from
kinda
the Bible.
bad.
Bene
But-
Gesserit.
Yeah, the Bene Gesserit, which is what
Jezebel.
Paul Atreides' mother is. She's part of the Bene Gesserit. They've been planning and basically like breeding people with certain genetics to bring a super being into existence that will be able to like see the future. And Jessica wasn't supposed to have a son. The super being was supposed to come into existence like after Paul, but she has a son like against the Bene Gesserit will, and
Come on,
he just so
Jessica.
happens to be
Jessica's
like
ruined everything.
that
dude.
guy. He's that dude.
He's that guy, pal.
Yeah. So that's
Who's
why
that
he's like
guy?
special.
It's just a
It's
son.
It's just as best just
Well,
Shaq,
I'm not
he
gonna ask any
Shaq.
questions because I want to watch the second movie.
Yeah.
so never mind.
Yeah. No spoilers. No spoilers.
Spoilers.
I also need to rewatch Dune because once again I watched it on a plane ride back from Thailand on a screen like this big.
Yeah, you were deprived.
So I'm excited to rewatch that and then go into Dune 2. I'll probably wait until it comes out on some streaming service, but I'm excited to do that.
Have you guys seen the new theaters, where it's like the whole thing?
the whole theater, it's too much, dude.
Yeah?
I can't. Like, what am I supposed to look this way and then look this way? Like, it's just.
Oh, I haven't been to one of those.
Well,
I
neither
haven't
have I,
either.
but I refuse
What
to.
if it just like spun you around like
Yeah, you're just like
Sphere.
spinning around. Oh, I get sick. I mean, do you like it? Do you like the idea of that?
I do like. the
Sorry,
idea
I
of
just
it.
shot that down like super fast.
No, I think it's cool, but yeah, I could see how it'd be kind of like make you a little nauseous.
I don't know. It's
Because like the
Yeah,
IMAX
okay.
back in the day used to make me like nauseous,
yeah.
or like 3D movies would give me headaches.
if I had to have like my head tilted or turning side to side, that's
Yeah.
too much.
I just
me.
need to be able to move my eyes like this. Like,
Yeah.
that's all I want to be able to do.
Just give me popcorn, put on a good movie, we're good.
Dude.
Did you have something you were going to say?
I was just gonna say, back to some Star Wars. What do we think is your favorite character in Star Wars?
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I would say
No-
Obi-Wan or
no doubt.
Anakin.
Or I should say favorite / like the best.
Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's always been my favorite character ever since I was little.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I got to go Obi-Wan. I don't know which version, though. I don't know, like I really like Clone Wars Obi-Wan. He's very sassy. He's very funny. But, yeah, probably just Ewan McGregor.
Also, we're prequel babies, so
Yeah,
like
we're the worst.
older people that are watching this are going to be like, not Luke Skywalker. Obviously, I watched the prequels first, so I don't know. I identified more with Obi-Wan, but I think if I watched the original trilogy first, I might say Luke Skywalker. But he's number 2.
I think Kylo Ren and Rey are a tie.
Okay, all right. I don't want to hear another word from you. I have like zero respect for that.
I like Kylo Ren. Is he the
okay,
best?
okay,
No.
yeah.
But I do
of
like
that
him.
of that trilogy, yeah.
But I think Yoda is probably my favorite, just because he's like so small but so wise and also
yeah, that's a good
powerful.
point.
Agile.
Yeah, he's crazy.
That Count Dooku versus Yoda fight is
yes.
just goated. Also,
They're throwing stuff at each other.
he has another fight in Clone Wars with like Darth Sidious, but it's like a dream or something. It's not real, and it's
It's a force
Darth
fight, right?
Sidious and Count Dooku conjure some spell thing, Sidious thing,
yeah.
and they're at this like doing their whatever witchcraft stuff, and they end up fighting Yoda, like testing to see if they're ready to destroy him yet, and they fail, knowing like the Sith are not ready to take over the Jedi Order yet. That's a good episode.
That's a good one. And then Darth Sidious versus Maul and Savage.
Dude,
that might be the best fight scene in Clone Wars, unless you can think of another one.
That brings me to, I think Maul might be one of my favorite characters.
Oh, man,
and
Maul's good.
you do have to watch Clone Wars and
Wars.
Rebels to understand the full story.
He's so good.
Right,
I don't want to spoil it, but I will. So
Do it.
Maul doesn't die; he's alive. So go watch Clone Wars and Rebels. But
Season 7, man.
dude, when he survives Order 66 when Ahsoka saves him so she can escape, and he's just left with no weapon, and he just takes out all the clones in his path just with the Force, is like super cool. But he knows exactly what's going on with what Palpatine's doing, and he asks Ahsoka like, join me and we'll destroy him, like which could have worked.
7 was so
but then he would have replaced Palpatine. But like Maul's just such a, I don't know, his character is just, he was taken from his home to become a Sith, and he's an apprentice. Obi-Wan kills him per se. He survives. He's like in the lowest of his lows. His brother Savage finds him. He finds his place again. Savage is killed by Sidious, and he's just left in the dirt from from Palpatine and the whole thing. So he's just like on his own, and he's just a badass. And he just goes through the galaxy causing chaos, and he literally survives the entire time is only because of Obi-Wan. He just the amount of hate that he has, like literally helps him survive, and he finds Obi-Wan, and then he kills him.
Yeah, and that scene where they fight, that final scene, that scene is really powerful too, because it's like it's almost like a haha, like Maul has survived all this time to fight Obi-Wan, and then Obi-Wan immediately like kills him because he tried using that same attack that he killed Qui-Gon, bro. It's like years later he still remembers, and then he just
and the three forms that he goes in that scene, he starts off with his original like Obi-Wan, then I remember I forget who the actor who plays the voice of Maul in Rebels and Clone Wars. He explains that Obi-Wan like first starts off with like his Revenge of the Sith, like Revenge of the Sith, Obi-Wan. Then he goes to Qui-Gon stance, I believe. Okay. In like honor. No, he goes to.
I think he starts with A New Hope, and then he goes to Revenge of the Sith, and then
he goes to Qui-Gon to honor.
Okay.
And then once Maul sees that he's doing Qui-Gon stance, he goes for the same move that he killed Qui-Gon with, but Obi-Wan knows.
Yeah.
And then he kills him.
Which is such a powerful scene.
Isn't Darth Maul's voice the guy that plays Starkiller?
I think yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's Starkiller?
From the Force Unleashed games.
Yeah. Galen Merrick.
It's not canon.
It's an apprentice of Darth Vader.
Is that on YouTube that we've watched before?
Yeah. You know what's wild is a lot of those like short trailers are so much better than like what Star Wars now is. Like the Old Republic.
We love you, Disney.
The Old Republic ones, I think the Brothers. The Brothers is probably my favorite one.
Yeah.
But then the Star Killer.
Yeah. I remember I was talking to my friend Mike about the show on Netflix, Death, Love, and Robots.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know. I just watched the first season. I'm like,
Oh, you didn't
I didn't really like the stories of any of them.
Oh, really?
Like
I like the Pokemon one. Or
they were almost like
Pokemon.
more of just like a showcase of the animation, and I didn't like, I don't know. I didn't feel like a compelling story in any of the ones that I watched.
Okay.
But that could just be me. But I remember my friend Mike. He was like, "Well, they're so short. It's hard to like develop a story." And I'm like, "Watch this."
But watch these trailers.
I sent the Brothers Old Republic game trailer to him. He's like, "Okay, I see what you're doing." You can have like a 4-minute video that has an amazing story.
Or the what are those like Warhammer 40K or
Astartes, which only has one word, and it's like Astartes is a better video than anything that any sci-fi really that Hollywood has put out other than maybe Dune in the last like 20 years. Astartes is insane. Like, have you guys? I've shown it to you.
Yeah,
guys,
you
right?
showed us.
Oh,
I kind of just blacked out for a second.
You know, that's okay.
Remember
You're
the
staring at their
Astartes, like
agates.
Warhammer 40K video.
I do.
It's so well done. One guy made that.
One guy.
One guy in his basement with a box of scraps.
Really?
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yes. It took him like
Tony
4, maybe 5 years or something like that to make the whole thing. But it's an insane, in my opinion, work of art, and it's just unbelievable that Hollywood can't produce something like that.
Isn't it one of the most frustrating things?
Did he say it weird?
Frustrating.
No, he said
Frustrating.
When
frustrating.
you have all these incredible movies that have such good potential, and then it just is the biggest disappointment because
Kenobi.
Imagination that we have and people have, that's what's the hardest thing for me is my imagination is just going to different places, and then when politics and the world and today's society just affect those things for the directors, for the movies, the things that they have to do or they can't do, and it just like puts that bad twist on it. That's just I just wish to just get rid of that and just let people have their imagination and make it what it should be.
Yeah. Or they should start hiring some of these people, like the guy who made, that. And then the Samuel Kim, the music that I send you guys all the time with like the mixes of different Star Wars songs.
So good.
It's phenomenal. It's better than so much. I mean, I know that he's like using music that's already made, but he's still like adding to it, and it just brings it like full together. Like if Hollywood would just
Are you calling him out for being lazy?
No, I'm saying it's incredible. Sure, whatever. I'm saying it's incredible what he takes and what he turns it into. And I wish that Hollywood would like hire some good people to like make movies, because I feel like Hollywood has slowly declined in quality.
They're trying to sell to too big of an audience, and I think a great work of art is something that maybe a small group of people or maybe just one person wants to express. And I don't know. I think some of the best stories, like Lord of the Rings, are just literally from one person. This is one person's, J.R.R. Tolkien's vision for a story. Whereas if you have too many people trying to get their input and they want to make their mark on the story, it just becomes like kind of a jumbled mess.
And Peter Jackson did such an incredible job.
Yeah.
And there is differences. I know you're on the Return of the King for the book, and I'm towards the end of the Fellowship, but even reading through The Hobbit and The Fellowship, you can compare those differences where some things are very spot on, some things are very different in certain areas, but it's like, I mean, obviously if you have a story in a book, you can't put all that into cinematic movies, but he did such an amazing, and it's just really cool to see slight differences too on the screen, which I love. So you get the story of the book with characters might be a little bit different compared to the movie. And I think that's cool to have that comparison. So
How does Dune hold up for that then?
So similar to I just wanted to say for like Lord of the Rings, I think the audiobooks are like 60 hours or something just for the like original 3 Lord of the Rings. So just imagine, like, let's just say half that. How long are the extended versions
for the movies?
Yeah,
like at least 3.5. The Fellowship and I think Two Towers is the shortest.
So total, if you like,
It's like 11
if
hours
you
total.
yeah, if you okay, so 11 hours. So like if you just condensed the audiobooks into half the total length, it would still be like 3 times approximately what the extended versions of the movies would be. It's not a perfect comparison because you have to describe things in books, but still there's so much detail in those books. It's the same thing with Dune. There's so much detail and backstory that you get in the books that I think Denis Villeneuve did a great job of just simplifying it. And maybe he didn't explain the story, but the thing is that you're going to end up with a 5-hour movie. You have to explain the backstory. You kind of have to just give people the impression of what the story is. They can go out and figure out more about it. But I think he did a great job of like kind of minimalizing the story. Minimizing? I don't know what the right word is, but being minimalist about it and not adding too much detail where people are just confused. I think you did a great job.
That's something I love to do, and I also got to be careful because I can do it too much. But things like Star Wars and Lord of the Rings, where like you're saying, where you can't. I mean, obviously, you already have a 3.5, 4 hour movie for Lord of the Rings. Like realistically, you can't make it much longer than that. But when you can go and learn new things like Star Wars, that's something that I'll always love about Star Wars is I can learn so many new things about the species, about characters, about planets, literally anything that I can learn new things that make me enjoy Star Wars even more. Like maybe it's not super related to the movies, but you can then, that information and you just have that in your back pocket. And I absolutely love that. It's not just dry, like here's a story, that's it. It's like, it's using your imagination and just so much more to it that I always love. So,
yeah.
So like
a whole
it, Brandon.
New world, Brandon.
Like it.
Well, if they made a movie about General Grievous, I think that would also be pretty sick. But
here's a thought. Grievous? What would be one movie idea for like Star Wars that you guys would, if you could put on the big screen right now?
I would say Grievous. Because as a kid, that was like when I saw, because I for the longest time only watched Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones. My parents, I don't even know how they knew this, but because it was rated PG-13. Were the other two rated PG-13? Oh, they were. I don't know how my parents.
They're PG. Like, wait.
Attack of the Clones was PG?
Yeah.
I think that's it then.
I'm pretty sure.
Doesn't seem like it would be, but.
I don't think it was PG-13, but I could be wrong.
But anyway, my parents somehow knew that, like, Revenge of the Sith was, like, something else. So the first time I watched Revenge of the Sith, I was with you guys, actually, the cousins. We all watched it in, like, your living room. And I remember General Grievous, like, when he first came on screen, I was like, whoa, this guy's, like, really cool. I wanted to know his backstory. Also, a funny memory from that is the scene when Anakin's about to decapitate Dooku. And Tyler were arguing on whether I should watch that scene because like back then I would get like nightmares and stuff, so I wasn't like I just wasn't good with that kind of material. And so you were like, no, dude, like look away. You probably shouldn't watch this or whatever. And Tyler's like, oh no, it's not that big, but it's Tyler, so like he didn't get scared by anything back then. He's like, no, dude, he's fine. And I was like, I didn't know what to do, so I just watched it, and he got decapitated. I was like, whoa.
Interesting. I don't really remember that.
Yeah,
but
that was a fun memory.
I can see myself doing that. Yeah, I just wanted you guys to like not be scared.
Right.
I think I probably was just like emulating my parents. That's something I was like, oh, that's something my parents would do. So that's something I should do. Yeah. That was probably it. But where did we watch it?
That was just at the Sussex house.
Really?
Yeah.
When you saw Revenge of the Sith for the first time?
Yeah, when did you guys move there?
2009.
Sounds about right, yeah.
It came out 2006.
Dude, I was not allowed to watch PG-13 movies for a long time.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Probably because you weren't 13.
That's true.
Did you ever
Do you understand the rules, Brandon?
Is it illegal that I watched Revenge of the Sith when I wasn't 13?
Yes.
It is.
And
wow.
Especially in the Philippines.
Police.
Especially what?
In the Philippines.
I was in Sussex.
Well, I'm just saying in the Philippines.
Right.
Yeah.
I got you.
We have to follow the Philippines.
Yeah.
You do, yeah.
Because we were born there.
Right.
And, right.
Here's an idea. I want.
Push over the Lego set?
Yes.
Ooh, how mad would you be?
I wouldn't be happy. I would not be a happy camper. I want a movie of clones from the 501st, but they're like in a special ops unit or something where they go behind the scenes before Order 66 and they don't take out their inhibitor chips, but Order 66 is ordered, but they just don't follow it. And I don't know. I want to see something that's like in
Bad Batch.
Isn't that like what Bad
it's
Batch
like
is?
Bad Batch, but I want to see it live
But of the
action,
501st.
501st, and I want it a lot more violent.
Because
here's an idea.
in Ahsoka, when they brought it back, man, I was like, I need a live action of this.
Did you watch Ahsoka, Milo?
Yeah.
You watch
we
Bad Batch.
were in that scene.
No,
Remember?
no.
Yeah, he was there.
I
he
was
wasn't
there.
He was there, and we were all like,
We would watch like
geeking.
every week together.
No, we didn't do that.
Okay.
I don't remember.
He was too busy staring at those agates.
Do we really? I truly don't remember.
Dude,
any
we
of
were
that.
we were in your
Yeah, we'd
guys'
have
living room.
every Friday night.
Yeah, we were watching them together.
Wait, do you remember watching with Brandon?
Remember,
Were
we
you- was
watched
he
it and
not
then we
there?
rewatched.
Was Joey
it.
there?
Well, you guys.
Did
No,
James-
he wasn't. You're right. Because you guys watched it first, and then it was just you, us two, and Wes. You were gone somewhere. That's right.
I feel like
That's
Aiden
right.
was there for one or two.
Aiden,
of them.
yeah.
Aiden was there for
Aiden was there when you were there.
yeah. When we watched that that scene.
What a
in Ahsoka.
scene!
probably
What
just
an
weren't there.
episode,
Bro.
That's Star Wars.
Captain Rex was in there for like 0.02 seconds, and it was instantly like one of my favorite parts about that show.
What a tease! What a good. Oh my!
I hope that because and Hayden Christensen like killed it. Obviously, he looked amazing. By the way, I don't
He's
know how
cringy.
long his.
Okay.
I don't know how
We need
Kylo
to-
Ren
we
and
need to
Rey.
end it here.
He's cringy.
I feel like I don't know how long his
hate
contract
Sam.
is.
Have
you know?
respect.
I saw something where he said he's up and willing for more.
Yeah.
Anakin/Vader.
As long as it's like what it was in Ahsoka and not something stupid, I'd like it.
Dude, just hearing him say "Hey Snips,"
Oh, dude.
which for anyone that doesn't
action.
know,
For
that's
first time live
that's a
action.
Clone Wars reference when how he would address Ahsoka. Usually be Snips was her nickname,
She's
but
like walking on like that bridge.
dude, that's what Star Wars.
Yes,
be.
that's what it should. That feeling that it like evoked for me, I was like, oh wow, this brings me back to when I would watch like Clone Wars, when I was watching the prequels, and then the scene when he's like walking like through the smoke or whatever, and he does that like shoulder shrug, and he switches to like Darth Vader, and his blade turns red, and then he comes out and his eyes are yellow.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness, we were geeking over that scene. You really weren't there for that.
No, I was there for that.
Oh,
I
you were.
I believe.
Okay.
Because I remember
It was a
you
scene.
screaming.
It was a
Yeah, you
scene.
were
It was a
screaming.
scene. I remember Luke and I, we were like grabbing onto each other. We were like shaking
Yeah.
each other because
Dude,
it was so good.
I just wasn't loud enough to know for you to know that I was there. I was just,
He was
kinda
just
sitting
observing.
there.
Because I take up so much volume
Right.
that I kind of like nobody else needs to say anything. Because I
of
make up for
course.
4 dudes.
Of course.
Oh wait. Okay, go ahead.
What do you mean? That was my whole thought. Believe it or not, I actually am done talking.
What about the scene from Mandalorian season 3? And I remember we were watching it together, but when the Mandalorians were escaping and that bigger Mandalorian with the minigun or whatever he had just got wrecked by those 4 what are the name of the guards? They're
Imperial.
Wait, what? Oh,
The-
yeah.
they're like
No, I know what you're talking about. But yeah,
can't-
yeah.
but that scene I think I watched like probably 5 times.
That was a
of
cool
them
scene.
killing him. It was just I thought that was done really well. I like that scene a lot.
Yeah. It's concerning to me that you really like these scenes where people are like killed. You're like, Order 66, dude. Like,
So because it's so emotional, they just get you
just-
all
I'm just
wrapped up
joking.
in your feelings,
Yeah.
and then
yeah.
They
Moff
crush your
Gideon was a
dreams.
great character too. When he,
Yeah.
I think he's still alive. I can't imagine they're
Was
just
it
going to kill him
Moff
off.
Gideon, or was it gosh, what's his name from Breaking Bad?
Breaking Bad.
yeah.
What is it?
Gus Fring.
Gus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great character.
Yeah.
One day I'll get around to watching that
best.
show.
Dude, you haven't
I know,
seen it
I know it's one of like the greatest shows of all time. I know,
Rebellious
I know.
Monk.
It's just, it's so long that I don't want to like start watching it and then stop and then like fall out of it
Just
or
don't
something.
stop.
Well, like after I graduate or something, maybe I'll just absolutely grind that show out.
What show?
Why would you?
Breaking Bad.
Yeah, yeah.
Ruh-roh.
Have you?
It's very good.
What are you looking at?
The camera's on low battery.
Oh, okay. All right, we can
We'll-
probably wrap it
we'll
up.
make
Oh, so
a-
is that one
I
good?
think it's dead though.
I think one of my favorite things to
No, it's still recording.
come out of Disney Star Wars was that video somebody shared it in the Instagram chat, but that video of Hayden Christensen, you know, in the early interviews where they're kind of like clowning on him.
Yeah.
And then you see like how people love him today.
Yes.
He goes to that Star Wars
He's
convention.
crying.
Yeah. And everyone's just like, yes.
Just had to wait.
That makes me feel so good, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, that's what he deserves.
Yeah.
He deserves all the love and like that for just what he's like done for Star Wars over the years. And I know he gets a lot of crap, but like
that's because he was in the wrong generation. Like that movie came out, and there was all the original trilogy that were all upset because it wasn't their original trilogy.
I think he played that character perfectly.
So do I.
That's exactly what George Lucas was going for.
Yeah, I think so too.
Obviously, some of the writing could have been a little bit better, but I think that Hayden Christensen did a great job.
Was it the writing or the acting though?
No, it was the writing. Like Anakin is supposed to be like a little bit like kind of awkward.
Yeah.
You know, like he's not supposed to be this smooth guy who doesn't talk about sand. Like he's supposed to be an awkward guy who talks about sand.
We should. I don't mean to cut this.
Yeah, no,
cut
we'll
this short, but the batteries are preloading the camera. So
would you do any better around Natalie Portman?
No.
Okay. How dare you?
There you go.
But I'm not an actor.
Okay, you
that doesn't. Yeah.
Well,
I'm a critic.
Yeah.
I think we'll probably wrap it up here with the camera batteries getting a little low, but that was our spiel on some Star Wars, some Dune, some Lord of the Rings, all some great things. But
comment what movie you guys would want.
Ooh, yes. Or if you guys want to talk
genuinely curious to know what people think, like what movies they would want.
Or if you want us to talk about movies or anything nerdy or sci-fi, whatever. But off of that, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. This is the Campfire Council Podcast.